I'd done a story not long ago on Paul Rabel, who's become the sport's first $1 million man in endorsements. And as we're sitting down during lunch, he just keeps rattling off, well, I have friends at Summit Partners, I have friends at Goldman, I have friends at SAC, and it turns out they're his former teammates. So all these folks go from Lacrosse to Wall Street, and there's this pipeline that's developed, and it's self-fulfilling. It's the coach is promoted to the younger guys, and they know about it. They pick programs who have these strong pipelines straight to Wall Street.
Is it just they're hiring their buddies? Is it just like a social hire in your clique?
Maybe true 20, 30 years ago, but now what everybody told me is you better come with the bona fides. You better have the grades, you better have the education, and then once you're there, as in almost anything, you have to produce. It's not good enough. But getting the opportunity is sometimes the hardest part, getting that internship, getting that first job. And that's where the pipelines really seem to help.
What's the connection between playing lacrosse and being in the business of managing money? Is there any? I mean, what's the history there?
Well, it probably stems from the prep school background of lacrosse. The kids who play lacrosse come from a very wealthy demographic. Most households make more than $100,000, which is why in the future, in the growth of the sport, it might be attractive to advertisers. So it's already the fastest growing sport. It is certainly moving west. Denver is in the Final Four. Didn't have a program long ago. It was traditionally...
Can you help me here? Can you tell me how many people play lacrosse? And I don't mean total. I mean, how many people on each team, and what's, you know, what are the periods? I mean, for those of us, I mean, I'm still watching
I certainly don't know.
I'm still watching hockey and basketball.
It's like a 35, 40-man roster. There's long stick, short stick, attackmen, defensemen, midfielders, face-off specialists, ground ball guys. Possession's very important in lacrosse. If you get the ball, you have a chance to score. Even if you shoot and miss, you can keep the possession if you're closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds. That may be the biggest hurdle the sport has to overcome, and that is casual sports fans don't understand the rules yet or the intricacies. It's sort of like baseball had to overcome when someone says from outside the U.S., I go to a baseball game, I don't understand the rules. How can I watch this? That's what lacrosse is going to have to overcome.
I sometimes feel that way when I watch football. What about the characteristics of lacrosse? Very aggressive? I think it's
okay.
Is it aggressive? I mean, how does that sort of jibe with some of the characteristics? You need to be a good trader on Wall Street.
You need to be competitive. One of the guys told me, too, I found interesting, is you need to learn to lose. Because you have to be competitive, yes, but you have to learn how to deal with the disappointment of losing, regroup quickly, and be able to go back to work. And yeah, he really liked that in lacrosse, and all sports, really. But since it's just former lacrosse players we're talking about, they know what it takes to play the game at the highest level.
Scott, what about the people that maybe don't know about lacrosse that want to get into it? Is it an expensive sport to participate?
Well, like anything else, you need the equipment, you need the sticks, but I mean, you can get these things. Just to pick it up and start, you need a stick and a ball. Just like basketball, you need a ball and a hoop. So you can do it by yourself, have a catch, throw it against the wall.
Created by Native Americans, right? I mean, isn't that there's a whole history to this sport.
And that's another portion of this story that said it's a very tribal in nature. So which is why, and it permeates, it's not a marquee sport. Right now it's a niche sport. So if there's anything one guy who's made it can do to help somebody else who's following him, they will do it. There's almost an obligation to help your fellow lacrosse player.
How prevalent are lacrosse players on Wall Street? Is this just a broad across thing?
I'll put it to you that this doesn't happen very often when you're trying to report out a story where you tell your sources, please, no more.
Really? No more? You got a flood?
Every single person I spoke with put me on to at least 5 more people. And then they gave me 5. It was like the Well and Balsam commercials from way back when, you know, and so on and so on. That's what it was like. I had to actually tell the folks, you can stop calling me, no more.